Welcome back. It's Monday, November the 16th. I hope you had a restful weekend and I hope you're ready to start out your week, start out Number Corner, because once we get through this week, guess what? It is break and we all need a break, right? All right, if you see some fancy shadows going on with my glasses, it's because I have on some blue light blocking glasses today just to kind of give me a boost. My eyes are a little tired from looking at the screen all day. So if you're feeling the same thing, then you might want to turn down the brightness on your screen because that may help some. Okay, so today we're going to do some calendar grid and we're going to update our calendar collector. So it should be a very quick, short video, but you still have some work to do. So let's get started. All right, so let's get to work. We did not look at Saturday on Friday. Today's Monday, so we'll definitely look at Sunday. So I'm going to show you Saturday. We know what our pattern has been so far this week. We went from an hour and 20 minutes to, an hour and 10 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. So this is 3 o'clock, and then we got 4. Whoa. Are you expecting that? Let me zoom in here. 3 o'clock to 4:30. What happened? Yeah, it looks like our pattern changed. I did not expect that to happen until at least Sunday. So instead of it being an hour and 20 minutes between our two markers, we actually have an hour and 30 minutes. You're right. Let's go ahead and record that before we look at Sunday and Monday. So we went from 3 o'clock to 4:30. It is still p.m. And now it's been an hour and 30 minutes in between our two calendar markers. So we have collected 16 hours and 30 minutes. Right. Has a full day gone by yet in terms of hours? We know days have gone by because we're on day 10 of Number Corner. But if we're looking at how many hours we've collected, have we collected a full day's worth of hours? No, we have not. You should know that there are 24 hours in a day. Okay, so since our pattern changed here, it looks like every however many days, something happens to our pattern. So then what is today going to look like? Right, it's probably going to add an hour and a half, right? Let's see. So what time is it? 4:30 plus an hour and a half. Did you get 6 o'clock? Awesome. 6 o'clock for Sunday. And also notice the colors are changing in the background. Went from cloudy to no more clouds. And it looks like some light down here. Maybe the sun's going down. I don't know. It is November, so think about the different time, like what times look like different points in times of the year. Okay. So today's marker then, if this is 6 o'clock, should be 7:30. Let's check. And it is. So let's fill that in on our collection sheet. So we had 6 o'clock, which is p.m. And then we had 7:30, which is also p.m. And we've collected 16 hours and 30 minutes as of Saturday. So now that we are adding 1 hour and 30 minutes, how much time have we collected? From 16 hours and 30 minutes? Right, so now we have 18 hours, and then we have another 1 hour and 30 minutes. And that should give us 19 hours and 30 minutes. Awesome. Good job. Now, let's look at our calendar collector. So today is day 10, which means we are adding our 10th cup to our quart. We have 2 full quarts, and then we have a fourth of another quart. So once I add this cup, I now have a half. You see that? Now we have 2 cups. Okay, so let's fill it in. And I actually filled some of it in for you. We have 10 cups, which is 2.5 quarts, and here is one equation that you could write to represent the amount of quarts we have. But we could be fancy. We could be fancy and we could write, let's say, 1/2 plus 1/2. Well, I should ask you, how many halves do we have? We have 2 fulls and another half. How many halves are in each full quart? Right, there are 2 halves in a full quart. So if we have 2 full quarts, that's 2 halves, 2 halves, and then we have another 1/2. So I could write it just like that. 2 halves plus 2 halves plus my 1/2 is going to give me still 2.5, because we know that a fraction where the numerator is the same as the denominator is equivalent to 1 whole. Or I could put 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, which gives me my 2 quarts. Plus I have another half. Okay, so we could get fancy with our equations, and that's just one other way that we could write it. Okay, does that make sense? All right, great. Well, now you guys are going to be opening up your number corner notebook, and we're going to be on page 25 today. So go ahead and get that out while I pull it up on my end. Page 25. Right, it should say the twins' school day at the top. And right before we talk about that, you may remember how I mentioned that the backgrounds are changing. It goes from being dark with the moon in the sky to the sun's coming up. We still have some stars, but now it's really bright. Bright, bright, bright. We got some clouds, and now it's getting dark again. Why is that? Right, this is the shift from night to day during the winter. You'll know just recently we had fall back, right? Which means our clocks went back an hour, which really means that it gets darker earlier. And we're seeing that here with our cards. So if it were showing a summer month, would it be the same? Would this marker look the same? Would these markers look the same? Probably not. Now, I'm going to ask you to put on your thinking caps, because I want to know if our pattern is adding an hour and 30 minutes now. It's 7:30. What might the marker on the 19th show? See if you can figure it out. Count by an hour and a half, starting at 7:30. Let's do it together. You ready? 7:30 plus an hour is 8:30. Plus 30 minutes is 9. Plus another, so this probably is going to be 9. Plus another hour and a half is 10:30. Plus another hour and a half is, you think it's going to be midnight? Right. Or 12 a.m. So then I wonder what it's going to show next Monday. I'll remind you, there are 24 hours in a day. And the day is usually said to start directly after midnight, so 12:01, up until a minute before midnight the next night, so 11:59. Okay? What do you do within a 24-hour time period? What do you do in a 24-hour time period? I know I am sleeping, I work, I take my little person to daycare, I pick them up, I cook, I clean sometimes, watch TV if I have time. Some of those things sound familiar? Yeah? Well, let's look at some of the patterns that we created here on our collector sheet. What do you notice? Do you notice that some of the days, I should say the first few days, that the total elapsed time matches the time shown on the clock? 1:10, an hour and 10 minutes. 5:50, 5 hours and 50 minutes. You notice that? But it changes after 12, right? And that's where you get the military time when you say it's 1,300 hours and blah, blah, blah. Okay? Well, now that you should have your books out after we had a little bit of conversation going on, let's look and see what you are expected to do so that you can get started. So, first question says you're going to label the times and you have to put AM and PM, okay? Then there's some elapsed time questions. How long has it been since school started? And lunchtime. So you got to pay attention to the labels on the clocks, okay? How long are they in school each day? So just like we are accumulating time each day between the elapsed time between each marker, you will probably need to do the same thing, okay? Read each question carefully. And then on the second page, let's see what you got. All word problems with some more time and elapsed time. So you have time today to work on these pages. You may also have a chance to continue working on them maybe tomorrow. But your goal is going to be to finish it today so that you can finish it and you don't have any extra work to do the next day. All right? All right. So good luck. I believe in you. You know how to read a clock. And hopefully you've been paying attention as we've been working together on collecting time and adding it up to figure out the elapsed time this month so far. So that means you should be able to do it independently. All right. Continue working. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.